This morning I did yoga and spent some time on some self-care in the infrared sauna. And this afternoon I am reading one of my favorite authors and a book that I've had on my bookshelf for probably, I don't even know, 8 years, 7 years. Actually, it was written in 2012, so it's been even longer than that. I'm a big fan of Marie Kondo and The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up as well. And she has a recommendation for books that if you've only read half the book, then that's all you were meant to. And so that's the information that you've received, and there's no reason to keep the book, and you can pass it on if it's meant for you, that it'll return to you at some point. And the books on the shelves that you're waiting to read or you think you might read, again, donate them and they'll come back. And I did a lot of that when I moved from Connecticut to rural Pennsylvania. I got I was a book person. I've always been a bit of a bookworm, but I had a tendency of buying more books than I was reading. So I did clean my shelves quite a bit, but I saved some. And this is a book that I saved. I'm glad I saved it because it's relevant to me right now. And I think that brings to mind time. And sometimes things have their way of being relevant at certain times of our lives. And so I'm excited to read the book, and that's what I'm doing. Another tip for those who like to buy a lot of books, buying more books than you're reading. I created a book list as a shopping list on Amazon. And anytime I want to buy a book, I just put it on that list. And I told myself a long time ago, once I'm done reading the books that I currently own that I haven't read yet, then I can buy a new book. Well, that book list I started 10 years ago, and it must have 500 or 600 titles on it. But I very, very, very rarely ever purchase them. And that's okay, because it shows where my interest lies. It gives me some fuel for my next book. But the truth is, as I mentioned, I think somewhere at some point, that we're constantly changing. And so the person that I was prior to the trail is not the person that I am now. And so those books are on a kind of on a waiting list. And I don't know if I'll ever be that person that chose to set them there. But like this book, it's come back to me. And so potentially it will be a good resource for me to hold on to. It also provides a great gift ideas list for my kids because they have no idea what to get their mom. So this is one of my favorite trees. I've often sat underneath it. And those are the chickens. And they are not my favorite. I'm not a real chicken fan. So I'm sitting under the tree and thinking, today's another day that I didn't move much. I did yoga this morning and infrared sauna, so I'm doing the body care, but I'm not getting the movement in. I know it's important. It's really important. I just don't want to do it. It's really hard. I've always been great about doing habit maintenance and developing and stuff. In fact, when I was living in Connecticut, I was a holistic health counselor, and habit forming was one of my skill sets, and I was able to help clients build habits and keep them. And yet I'm struggling with this habit, with this getting back into movement thing. And it's not that I don't want it, I do. It may be, I'm doing the thing we all do, and that either it's excuses or reasons or whatever, but maybe my body still needs time to heal and to rest. Sure, I could tell myself that. But something inside, right? Something inside knows that's bullshit. And that I need to move, even if it's just walking down the road or around the lawn for like 3 times. I need that movement. I need to bring my heart rate up, and that will make me feel good, and mentally and physically. I need to do these things. And it's not that I should, it's that I want to. And I don't know how I'm going to do that, because in the past, one thing that has been a tool that I've used is that I'm great in the morning. Get me up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I'll get all my things done by 6. That's the way I like it. And right now I'm sleeping in a little bit. I'm spending time with my son before he goes to work. And then I'm catching up with family members. And then before I know it, it is 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And those are not good times for me. And forget about doing anything at night. I just have never been good at that. So I got to figure this out. And the other thing that I know about myself, and we're all different, is that it needs to be set in stone. So it can't be, I'm going to move when I feel like it, because I never will move. And it can't be, well, this day I'll do it this time, and this day I'll do it that time. And really needs to be consistent. I like consistency. And so, I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out, but I'm struggling with it right now. And I know it's important. The practice that I've had is grounding. So getting your feet on the ground, and also connecting in a way to that energetic force. And for me right now, it's this tree. This tree is rooted and grounded. And so just sitting here and leaning against the tree provides me with that energy. And so what a great, wonderful feeling it is to feel the energy of the tree rooting me down. And it gives me those feelings of security and stability. And because I am looking to set up a routine, it's tapping into that energy too, of routine and ritual and the Mother Nature home feeling. It's a good thing. Can you hear it? Can you hear the sound of summer ending and fall starting? It's the evening. You know, tonight is such a beautiful night. The wind, slight breeze, the patterns, the leaves, the branches, just hearing the sounds. I was trying to take a picture of this guy when he landed on my arm. And here he is now. Look, I no longer have dirt under my fingernails. But I started looking at my hand, and it reminded me of an exercise in mind-body therapy called Pandiculation. And so if you are, it's like trauma therapy, but also a practice, I believe, in attention and awareness. So you can choose what you put your attention on. And if you're feeling emotions, or you're in a situation of high stress or something like that, you can look at your thumb and direct your attention. It doesn't have to be your thumb, it could be your hand. It could be that little sweat bee if he comes back. Maybe if he's on my arm. So, you know, you can put your attention on something so that your mind is focused. And it's not that you don't feel the emotion or whatever is going through your body, but your attention is elsewhere. So that feeling, that energy can move instead of pushing it away or drawing it in. You just allow it to move through you. This is really cool. Okay, enough. It's time to end the day. I know I won't do another video today. So just to recap, fire starter sessions. This is what I'm currently reading, and struggling with habit building of movement
And actually, that little bee thing was great. It's amazing how life's lessons just present themselves if you are paying attention. So awareness and what you pay attention to. Those are the tools that I'll use to develop the habit of movement. Let's see how I do.